Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to public lecture with Dr. Sehat Sutardja, CEO of Marvell Technology, organized by Direktorat Inkubator Business and Faculty of Computer Science, University of Indonesia at Balai Sidang University of Indonesia. Let us praise to Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, we are able to come here today. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Argi Wibawa, and I'm very pleased to host this event this morning. First of all, I would like to say welcome to our honored guest, Your Excellency Dr. Sehat Sutardja, CEO of Marvell Technology. Welcome to all associates of Marvell Technology. And of course, I would like to say welcome to Wakil Rektor Bidang Penelitian, Kerjasama dan Pengembangan Industri, Mr. Sunarji SEMM. Secretary of University of Indonesia, Profesor Ketut Surajaya. Dean of the Faculty of Computer Science, Profesor Chan Basarudin. Welcome to all guru besar and to all inventors. And of course, welcome to all participants, which is college student from University of Indonesia, and also to all college student and lecturers from University Nasional, PNJ, ITB, Universitas Pembangunan Jaya, Perbanas, Pancasila, dan BINUS. Before we run this public lecture, we'll hear a speech from Mr. Sunarji to open event today. For Your Excellency Mr. Sunarji, you're cordially invited to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sunarji.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May God always bless us in our daily activities. We would like to thank to Dr. Sehat Sutardja, the owner of Marvell Technology Incorporated, for his visit to Universitas Indonesia. Welcome to Universitas Indonesia from the family of Dr. Sehat Sutardja, the representative team from Marvell Technology, and the distinguished guests from other universities such as IDB, UNAS, UNJ, and etc. A pride for the Universitas Indonesia to do public lecture with Dr. Sehat Sutardja, President, CEO, and Chairman of the Board Marvell Technology Group, as form of higher education Tridharma. Marvell Technology is one of the real successes of the hard work of Indonesian children who can be equated with other IT companies in the world like Microsoft, Apple, and other famous IT companies in the world. I hope public lecture with Dr. Sehat Sutardja will stimulate academic member of Universitas Indonesia and also another university to have a creative innovation and high power in conducting research. And finally, this collaboration should be bigger and give best contribution for Indonesia and world and a while. The last, please enjoy the public lecture and please apologize for any inconvenience. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Mr. Sunarji to open this public lecture. And please stay in stage first for giving a token of appreciation from University of Indonesia, Dr. Sehat Sutardja. So, for Your Excellency, Dr. Sehat Sutardja and Mr. Sunarji to step forward to the stage. Thank you to Mr. Sunarji and Dr. Sehat Sutardja. To start the public lecture, I would like to invite Professor Chan Basarudin to joining us on stage to continue this public lecture. For Your Excellency, Professor Chan Basarudin, you are cordially invited to stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Chan Basarudin.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Students, professors, and of course our honorable guest, Dr. Sehat Sutardja and his family. Welcome to University of Indonesia. I'm very pleased today to announce that today we will have a very interesting lecture from Dr. Sehat Sutardja. But before that, let me briefly introduce Dr. Sehat Sutardja to all the audience. My task will be easy because during the last couple of days, there are so many news and information about him. And if you try to put his name on the Google this morning, there will be millions of entry about Dr. Sutardja. Dr. Sutardja is a co-founder, president, and chief executive officer of Marvell Technology Group Limited, a global semiconductor company. He is widely recognized as one of the pioneers of the modern semiconductor age. He is also regarded as an internationally proponent of new energy standards for consumer goods, electronic goods. He was named as the Inventor of the Year in 2006 by the Silicon Valley Intellectual Property Law Association for his intellectual contribution to high-speed mixed-signal digital signal processing solution to storage, communication, and consumer electronics. To date, he has patented not less than 269 of his inventions. In 2004, he was awarded as Entrepreneur of the Year by Ernst & Young. Dr. Sutardja, born and raised in Jakarta, started his company in 1985 with his wife, Welidai, and brother Panta Sutardja. 16 years later, Marvell is a global semiconductor company and one of the most successful companies in the industry. The company's US headquarters is based in Santa Clara, California, and it has global operations around the globe. Dr. Sutardja earned his bachelor from Iowa State University, master and PhD from University of California in Berkeley in electronics and computer science. Today, Dr. Sutardja will speak about the opportunities in technology that could be embraced by Indonesia, both on small and large scale, in order to be an even more significant participant in the internet economy. He will share his passion for technology and how it can transform individuals, groups, companies, and even countries. And without further ado, let us big warmest welcome to Dr. Sutardja. Dr. Sutardja, please.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. Uh, Good morning, fellow students. Assalamualaikum. As Obama said, kembali ke Lampung ini ya. Saya bilang, gue juga paling kampung nih. Tapi kampung sini sudah besar sekali. Bukan di kampung sekarang sih, ini kota besar. Macetnya besar sekali. So I'm really proud. I was, as you heard, I was born in Jakarta. I used to live in Jakarta Barat, Monjeruk, dekat di Kerukut, dekat di Kompasin dulu. Tapi sekolahnya, sekolah SMP SMA-nya di Kanisius. Ayah ibu saya mau anak-anaknya sekolah tinggi, karena dia nggak sekolah tinggi. Dia pikirnya kalau mau ada opportunity for anak-anaknya, semuanya mesti di sekolah tinggian. Jadi dipilih sekolah tinggi yang bagus. Kanisius kedengarannya bagus sekali, jadi kita dipaksa ke sekolah di Kanisius. Terima kasih Papa Mama. So, why is it I am here? Well, I'm here because I feel that, as a country, we have a lot of opportunities. Indonesia has a lot of opportunities. If you just do not know it. I happen to know because I've been outside the countries. I've been going to the US for 31 years. I've seen how countries could grow because of the people. And I don't think you know about this. You don't just realize it yet. You are the future of Indonesia. A lot of you are going to be engineers, physicists, biologists, chemists, mathematicians. These are all the foundations of the future economy of any country. When I left the country in 1980, this was not obvious to me. I chose electronics as a field of my future, not because I knew that there was a future in electronics to make money. It just happened to that I stumbled into electronics when I was at a very young age, at 12 years old, working on actually breaking radio and then forcing myself to fix the radio. It took me about a year or so, a year and a half to learn how to fix it. This is one of the reasons that I took the kursus radio, reparasi kursus radio di dekat Pancoran situ. Because my father told me that if I do not know how to fix it, he's going to send it to a repair person to fix it. And I told him, I'll fix it. You trust me that I'll fix it, I'll figure out how to do it. Even it means that I have to spend like 3-4 hours a day learning about transistors, learning about radio, super heterodyne radio, receiver architecture, building amplifier, building function generators, and all sorts of test equipments that I have to build along the way to figure out how to fix the damn radio. And I fixed it. But again, I did not know that there was a future for me. So many of you wonder, I say, what are you doing over here? Why are you studying hard? What's the purpose of doing math? What's the purpose of studying physics or mechanical engineering? After all, if you look around, look around in Indonesia. You look a lot of development, a lot of progress that we have made in Indonesia. It has not been in high technology field. Well, I'm not saying anything bad about it. Actually, you should be proud that Indonesia has been growing at a very high pace, high rate of growth over the last several years, maybe the last decade, compared to many countries in the West. So, yes, we could be proud of it. But on the other hand, on the other side, you will see that a lot of this growth have not been in the area of the technology area, or driven by the high technology, or manufacturing economy, or industrial economy. So the infrastructure still the old infrastructure. Yes, there are new infrastructure built as the city grows, but the older part of the city has not been renovated in terms of its infrastructure. The broadband infrastructure has not been built yet. So, yet, despite all these things, you see that the growth has been spectacular. So you wonder, as like, why do you need to be studying in sciences, engineering? Well, the reason is, if you look at the other parts of the world, the real growth that will come ahead of you, ahead of us, is the growth in the manufacturing economy, in the industrial economy. You just don't know about it yet, because Indonesia, you should consider, we are at the early stage of the growing economy. It means that we're just starting to feel the growth. The potential for Indonesia to be even bigger, growing into an even bigger economy, is so much bigger than anyone could imagine, including all of us, including all of you, including the West, that may not realize the potential. And again, as I said earlier, you are the pillar, you are the foundations of Indonesia's future. If you look at successful companies in the West, especially in the early days, at the growing economy like Indonesia today, like 20, 30 years ago in the West, you see companies like, or maybe even earlier, companies like Hewlett-Packard, Bechtel Industries, I guess Caterpillars and more recent companies like Google of the world, and including Microsoft. These are all companies that were started by business people? No. By speculator? No. Well, maybe a little bit, but they're more, not the way you think about it. These are all companies that are started by engineers. People, they have the background of engineering, sciences. And so if you look at all the substantial companies they were built, whether in the US or in Europe, these are all developed by companies, by people that have engineering backgrounds. Even though maybe today they are not run by engineers, some of these companies are not run by engineers, but when they started, including Intel, was started by engineers. For many, many years, the founders of Intel continue to run Intel to make Intel what we know today. Now, if you imagine, we have 240 million or so populations in Indonesia. We are only second to United States in terms of the populations. So we are number 4 largest population country in the world in terms of populations. And I believe we have some of the smartest people as well. We have some of the best education system in the world as well. Yes, we need to improve the education, the good education systems to more parts of the country, especially to remote sites, remote distances, where maybe the education systems are not accessible to them. But for the people that live in the metropolitan areas, the biggest cities, the education systems I will consider just as good or even better than many of the cities in the U.S. Unfortunately, I have to say that because in many parts of the U.S., some of the education systems are falling behind. So here we have systems that in many ways are considered world class. So the only thing that's missing I can think of is that the environment that you're in, the place where we live, we've been blessed with plenty of natural resources such as gold, oil, timber, and all year long sun, so that we can grow palm oils. So we've been blessed with all these natural resources. So it's easier to develop the businesses. They are based on things that are there already in front of us. All we have to do is just, yes, we have to work hard to dig the oil out of the ground. We have to dig the gold out of the ground. Yes, still hard work, but that's create a distortion in our economy. So even though our economy has been growing very rapidly, we are missing a part of the economy that is based on, again, manufacturing, industrial, and those things will have to be has to be built with bare hands and brain, using human resources. In the West, a few days ago, I talked about that one of the strengths of countries that do not have any natural resources are the natural resources that cause the human, and how you nurture the human resources to develop value, to develop intellectual values, we call it sometimes intellectual properties, develop ideas, and those ideas, those intellectual properties are used to build something out of nothing, right? So we're really just using your idea and your hard work, and by coming up with all these ideas together, you come up with products that other people will want to use. And a lot of these things you already noticed that the West have done a very good job in this area. Now you also maybe already starting to hear that companies like, well, I'm sure you already seen it, companies like Taiwan, Korea, Japan, and now China and India are jumping into the bandwagon and to starting to realize that these human capital resources, the key advantage will be one of the single biggest key advantage of Asia. And Indonesia is the next, I believe, I truly believe that Indonesia is the next place for this transition to the knowledge economy. Again, you just have not realized it yet. You wonder, it's like, yeah, but orang yang kaya itu semuanya bukan orang engineer. Di sini sih itu lain. Well, unfortunately, this is not unique to here. I was just told by my son, who's studying at UC Berkeley, he's waving, that it's my son, my firstborn son. He seems to be like a bodybuilder because he's a bodybuilder. But he's taking a PhD in electrical engineering in UC Berkeley. And despite the fact that I told him, study something else, okay? There's so many people in the world who study electrical engineering. But even I discouraged him when he was growing up. At the end of the day, he's still taking electrical engineering. And the reason that he's still taking electrical engineering, well, in this case, could just be any engineering or physics or math. Since he took electrical engineering, because he knows the dad is an electrical engineer. If it's not because of the dad is electrical engineer, probably he will still be some kind of other engineers. The reason is because he knows in his heart that engineering will give him the key to the future, key to the magic key, to the key that can open the window, open the door of opportunities, whether that opportunities in really developing new engineering work, whether to help him to make better judgment in future business dealings, or making policy of, governmental policies if he happens to be in governmental field, or whatever the fields that he's going to be in the future, the engineering skills that he will learn, that he have learned, and it will continue to learn in the future, will help him, will make him stronger, will make him better equipped to face the challenges in the world. Because after all, the world is very highly competitive. See, you see in Marvell, okay, we are successful in this in this business. We have become number 4th largest company that my wife, and my brother built over the last 16 years. We're only 16 years old. Compared to many companies that have been in business for much longer than us. Company like Texas Instruments, been in business more than 50 years. Intel more than 30 plus 40 years old. But we are, as a company, we are one of the youngest semiconductor company in the world.